Lukan online here with my special guest via Zoom.
Yeah.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, guys. My name is Madi Saskia from Birmingham. Thank you.
So normally I'd have like the applause sound effect, but I don't have it, so I have to do it myself.
No worries.
How's life? How's things? How's lockdown? No, are you in lockdown? Yeah, we're kind of in lockdown, but like half and half.
Yeah, it's coming out. So it's been all right, to be fair. I was saying the other day to someone that thankfully for me, it hasn't really hindered my creative process. Like I've still been able to go to the studio, which has been really nice. I've still been able to record videos and stuff. So yeah, man, I've kind of had like quite a blessed time with lockdown, but I work in retail, so like everything's open back up and it's like, oh.
So what was that? So were you on furlough then? Were you furloughed?
Yeah, I was.
How long were you furloughed for?
Oh, it was very on and off again. So probably accumulatively, maybe around 9 months altogether.
Whoa! So is that a good or a bad thing?
It was all right, to be fair. I didn't really see a big difference in my pay, so I couldn't really complain too much.
Okay, right.
But I know that some people like dropped a whole load. So yeah, like the more that you earn, the more that comes out. Whereas retail, we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it.
Because I have this conversation, and I was furloughed. I think I was furloughed for about 8 months. And it was the best thing ever. Like, I can't think of a better gig ever. Like, you can't come to work, but we're going to pay you, okay? But make sure you don't work, okay? No working, okay? And here's your money. Like, there's nothing better than it.
I couldn't complain. I'd spent so much time learning how to produce, writing songs, connecting with people. So I kind of took it as like, you know what? I've been like bending over backwards way too much. And now I'm just going to take time to just...
Right. So that's the thing. Yeah, absolutely. So
for putting my feet up. Can't complain.
Right. So that's the thing. So at the beginning of furlough, I said to myself, okay, now's the time to learn to do new things, take this opportunity. And so I started, but then I ended up just eating. And I was eating and eating and eating. That's what I did. So, and one day I found myself doing this mad circle that I'd go to the kitchen and go to the cupboard or fridge and I'd come with some snacks. And by the time I got to the living room, the snack was finished. So I'd go back to the kitchen and go, And on the third lap, before, hold on a minute, what's going on here? So,
this is going on too much. I can definitely relate. Like I went through a phase of really, really enjoying Ben & Jerry's. So I just like stocked up my freezer. And then by the time like maybe 3 days had passed, the 6 tubs of Ben & Jerry's that I awarded myself. Nowhere to be seen.
That sounds like my life. That sounds like my life.
Do my little workouts because
it's got to be done, innit, right? And summer's coming and there's no more lockdown, right? So what are you going to do? You can't have your lockdown body for summer.
It can't cut it. I mean, in some cases it can. However, I'm not allowing myself.
Mine can't either. So I don't know. Apparently I've lost a load of weight, but I'm going hard in the gym. So
most definitely.
Oh, wow. Anyway, introduce yourself to people that are listening, watching. Who is Madi Saskia? What is it that you do? Obviously, you said you're a singer from Birmingham, but let's know a little bit more about you.
I'm a Virgo. I'm from a place called Smethwick, which is on the outskirts of Birmingham. I've been writing, recording, performing for about 8 years. I kind of dabble in alternative R&B. And I just love music. I don't know. But fun fact, I was always supposed to be a history teacher. That was my thing. But here we are.
Whoa. So why were you supposed to be a history teacher?
Because that was like my big love. Like when I was in secondary school, I loved history. I loved everything about it. And I convinced myself, oh yeah, I'm going to be a university lecturer. I'm going to teach.
Really?
And then I took GCSE music and I was like, okay, maybe that isn't my calling anymore. So shout out to GCSEs for changing my whole path in life.
So if there was like a line of children in your class, and so, what do you want to be, Stephen? Oh, I want to be a policeman. What do you want to be, John? I want to be a basketball player. Maddie, what do you want to be? I want to be a history teacher.
Yeah, that was
really.
That was. I don't know. You know.
So you were the class nerd, right? Let's put it that way, right?
Just a little bit.
Little
bit. I was the quiet one. I didn't really, I was really kind of like, I was quite introverted. So I kind of just kept heading my books. And then, I don't know, like music gave me like this really strange confidence out of nowhere, and it gave me a sense of healing, as cliche as it is to say. I was going through a lot at that time in my life, as much as a 14-15-year-old could go through. So yeah, I really just found a love for it, and then I just found myself not being able to be without it. And then I kind of had a conversation with myself, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna throw myself in. I'm going to music college. I'm gonna do music, which my mom didn't really enjoy at first. But,
Yeah, I hear that. Trust me, I know all about that. Yeah. Did you say you did GCSE music as well?
Yeah.
So what were your GCSE results in history?
Okay. So
Miss History teacher, this sounds going to be entertaining. Go on, let's hear it.
In the end, I've got a C.
A C?
Okay, wait, what?
You get a C for turning up.
Okay, you do actually, especially because of the type of paper I was doing. However, basically what had happened was the first two, you get like 3 papers in history.
I'm hearing an excuse coming. You
know what? That's cool. That's cool. But first 2 I aced. The last paper, I forgot I had to revise for it. I was so like, yeah, I'm gonna make sure my music coursework is top of the line. And then I forgot I had to revise for it. And then when it came to this last paper, I was like, I don't know anything that's going on. So it came to the point where that was a G. So I had 2 B's, and then that was a G. So it averaged out at a C. So unfortunately for me, if I revised, I would have.
So I wasn't going to ask this, but with the exception of math, with the exception of the music, what were your other GCSE results? Just for the bands.
Just for the bands. So I got an A in English language.
Oh, that's no fun. Okay.
Right. A C in English literature. Yeah. A B in maths.
Oh.
B in science.
Oh.
B in additional science.
Additional science?
Yeah, it's like 2. I don't know. It's really weird. But I wasn't good at that one. I got a C. No, not a C. A pass in IT. I'm not really good with computers and stuff. What else did I do? French. I got a D. I can barely speak English. Let's be real. I'm from the Black country, so French was going to be a struggle. And what else did I do? I did art, and I got a C in that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then in music, I got a distinction star.
I can't lie. I was hoping that your grades would be a lot worse than that, so I can mock you a little bit, but they were fine. I'll be completely honest. Yeah,
sorry.
No. But you got distinction star in the music.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So leading up to your GCSEs, you hadn't really thought about music or anything like that. You weren't singing anywhere. Any music in the household? Was it a musical household? Music blasting out at all? Brothers and sisters, mothers and parents?
My mom is a medical receptionist.
Okay.
So she's not really musically inclined. She doesn't really sing. Like, she does her little singing in the shower, but that's about the extent of that. My dad, however, he was a DJ, specializing in like lovers rock, reggae, all those kind of vibes. But my parents were separated, so I didn't grow up with my dad. So I didn't have that musical influence from early. But when I picked GCSE music, he was over the moon, and he was proper like invested, like, yes, get you into the studio. I'm like, Dad, it's just a qualification.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that deep. But then when I started to take it seriously, like from like 16, he like really, really on it.
So you owe it all to your dad.
Yeah, man. God rest him.
Big up, Daddy. How was he gone? God bless him.
Last year. Dad.
Really? No, it wasn't COVID, was it?
No. He had a heart attack.
Really? Mate.
So yeah, it's quite sad.
Was he in good health?
For the most part, he just suffered with kidney failure, which is a really hard thing to overcome. So yeah, literally, one day he came back from his dialysis, and then he like passed away in his friend's arms.
Really?
Wow. It was a really hard time, and it was weird because we got the call at like 1 o'clock in the morning. So it was like I was ready to go to bed, and then I got a call. Like, oh, Dad's calling, cool. And then it just obviously is the news that you expect. But that's why I really am like trying to push, because he really wanted me to do well.
Yeah. I shouldn't make fun of the situation, but I like, my dad passed away the year before, the summer 2019. I wasn't really close to my dad, so it's going to be completely different to your situation. But I got the phone call that my dad passed away when about the same time as you, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But I was in a strip club at the time. So I'm thinking, well, how am I supposed to feel about this phone call, considering my dad just died, but I'm like in a strip club, everyone, all these half-naked women. I don't know, but how am I supposed to take this call? Because I was having a whale of a time. But so I was so torn because I felt bad for not being sad.
Yeah,
so, I don't know. It's really weird.
Like living your best life.
Yeah.
No, it's weird. Like I just feel like my dad was a joker in it, so he wouldn't have wanted me to be sad. Like even in the moment when I found out, I was kind of just like, this is a practical joke. This is somebody trying to have fun. But like, unfortunately, it was the truth. But like I said, that because he was the driving force in making me do music, I was like, okay, cool. There's no more messing about now, Maddie. You've got to go in. And as I put that kind of energy and had that kind of driving force behind me, and having him in spirit, I feel like I've done so much better for myself.
Wicked. Okay, good. Well, in the name of Daddy, we're going to make it happen. Become a superstar. Yeah, how did your mum feel about your music career now? Even though she wasn't all for it. What did she say at the beginning when you said, no, I want to do music? What was her actual response?
So obviously she was so kind of like supportive of me trying to be a history teacher. So she was like, yeah, a teacher, amazing stuff. And then all of a sudden I switched it. She was just like, well, that's very tunnel vision of you. I feel like she wanted me to go to sixth form, so have music as an option, but then kind of have like other backups. And I was like, no, it's gonna work, Mom. I promise, like, it's gonna work. She wasn't having any of it, to be honest. And it wasn't until I did my first headline show. I was like turning 18. I was like, I don't want to party. I just want to put on a show for people, and for my family. And like basically, I sold out the show. And like, my mom isn't like, she isn't driven by money, but she wanted to make sure that I had stability in my life.
Of course, yeah.
So being 18 years old and selling out 150 cap venue.
Jeez.
Just a little flex. But when she saw that, she was like, okay, maybe she can do it. And then you kind of saw the kind of support just increasing over time. And that's fine. Like, I don't hold any resentment for my mom not believing in me from the beginning, because sometimes people just need to see the fruits of the labor before they invest. But she's my biggest supporter now. And she's always my songs playing in the car, which is quite embarrassing sometimes. But yeah.
Does she play it at work as well? So this is my daughter.
She probably does, to be fair. I don't know about those ones, and it's probably for the best.
Everyone that walks through that reception, this is my daughter.
Did you hear this one?
Yeah. So how have you? I only was introduced to you last year. When was your headline show? Your first headline show? How long ago was that?
First headline show was in 2017.
Okay, so not that well, a little bit, a couple of years, 3 years. I'm 3 years late, but better late than never. So what's life been like as an artist, especially not an artist in London as well? Because you hear stories about the scene not being as big outside London as maybe it could be. So what is it like? And you're not even in main Birmingham either. So what's it like for you as an artist? Like,
it's so interesting. It's weird how the scene has evolved from when I was like 14, 15 and kind of just trying to emerge into the scene. But it's the one thing I can like really, really kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Really, really be proud of about Birmingham is the community. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody wants to support everybody. And there's that hunger, there's that competitive nature to want to do well, but there's almost like I can be in it's more like I'm in competition with myself.
Okay.
And then obviously you also have the crabs in the bucket mentality, because Birmingham is quite small. So there can only be a few kings and queens of the space. But for the most part, the people that I've been introduced to, and I'm surrounded by, are really, really supportive. And same way I'm supportive of them. So for me, if it wasn't for being in Birmingham, I don't think I would have been the artist or the woman or the person that I am today. So I just owe everything to my city. But it's harder. It's like you have to push to kind of get your name out in like your own space, and then you kind of have to do that extra stuff. Whereas in places like London, you kind of make a name for yourself in London, but because everybody's watching what London's doing, you kind of already have an eye on
That's very true, yeah.
other places. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's kind of, you have to do twice the work, but if you're willing to make it your career and you really, really love it, you don't mind the work and it doesn't really feel like work. So I can't complain personally, but other people might have different opinions.
Have you made the trip to London in terms of progressing your career, like performed in London, or have you just kept it where you are, just like, you know, own your own area first before you want to expand?
Yeah, so I definitely will say I'm more prone to performing and being about in Birmingham. It's more accessible for me. But I think I've done about 3 or 4 performances in London, and it's a completely different.
Right, so that's going to be my next question. What's the difference?
So in Birmingham, at this point, not that I'm like really, really famous and well known, but like in the live scene, I'm quite known for just performing so a lot. So when I do a performance, it's like there's always that support. Whereas in London, it's almost like before I go on stage, I have to psych myself up because it's almost like I have something to prove.
Yeah.
And I just feel like even watching my friends from London perform, I feel like they almost feel like they have something to prove, because I feel like in London, same way like in America, how you have like Hollywood and New York, you never know who's going to be in the audience. So you almost feel like, okay, this has to be the best performance ever. And sometimes that mentality doesn't really work in my favor because I'm also like a really, really nervous person as it is. So I'll be like, yeah, this is going to be the most amazing performance ever. And then it always, almost all the time, turns out to be one of my weakest performances. But I'm always just like, let me vibe anyway. Do you know what I mean? You catch the vibe. But yeah, I just think it's more subconscious pressure is the big difference. But I find that although people love to say that Londoners are quite rude and they've got an attitude and they're not welcoming, I found everywhere that I've been has been very like warm and open-minded to the type of music that I make, because it's not your mainstream kind of music.
Yeah, which is true. What describe? That's a good point. Describe your music, because you're R&B artist, but it's slightly different. Just describe your art. What would you say your R&B is?
So it's definitely inspired by the sounds of R&B, the feels of R&B, but it's in a more electronic, alternative space. My music has been described as quite haunting, which is quite interesting because I don't get those vibes when I make the music, but when people listen to it, it's very like, because of the harmonies and a lot of reverb and the sounds, it's kind of like almost like it sticks around, it lingers with you, kind of. I kind of go for more like sensual, weird vibes. I don't know how to describe.
I won't say weird, but the sensual, weird. No, it's not weird.
Yeah,
essential. I think essential is a good word.
There's got some songs coming out that you may change.
Okay, I might change.
Might change your opinion.
All right, fair enough. I'll look out for those. But no, I've only been introduced you recently. I think Phases was the first song I ever received with yours, which I thought was great. And then you're on the song Until with Faliba, which I think is another great song as well. In fact, I actually really like that song. So I've been enjoying it, and you've got the new song out now. So talk to me about the new song that's out now, Open Your Eyes. What's that about?
Okay, so I was in a relationship. Scary. And unfortunately, the relationship kind of isn't anymore. But it's because I realized the importance of love languages in my personal life. So love languages are kind of how you want to receive love.
So what are your love languages? To be receiving. No, yeah. So you're supposed to have 2 apparently. There's 5, but you're supposed to have 2. If I'm right.
Main ones, yeah. So mine are quality time, and if I remember correctly, it's either physical touch or words of affirmation. It's
just to receive or to give.
To receive.
Yeah. Okay.
So if I'm with you, I'm not saying I need you 100% of the time, because you're also another human being that has a life separate from our relationship. However,
but you're saying you're clingy.
No, not even. Like when we're together, I just expect there to be a level of like taking time to receive energy from each other and just be in the space. My partner was really, really busy, so there would be times where for 3 months, like sometimes we wouldn't see each other
for 3 months.
Yeah, like in person.
Wow.
So for me,
what was he doing? Was he like at sea?
Artist.
Okay. Say no more.
Yeah, so because I'm an artist that wasn't busy, I was just like, in my head, I was like, oh, maybe I need to try be like you because I feel like I've got too much time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we were together, and when we got to like actually be in person and kind of exchange like time and energy with each other, there was a lot of kind of distance. So they would be on their phone, PlayStation, just talking on the phone to somebody, and I'll be like, what am I even here for? Do you know what I mean? So Open Your Eyes is basically inspired by that relationship and me realizing how I like to feel appreciated. That's like, again, I'm not saying I need 100% of your time. However, if you choose to give me 30% of your time, I would like to have 100% of your energy in that 30%. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's all the song is about. It's really just not really feeling appreciated in a relationship.
I always like to ask, when you make a song about somebody, does that somebody know you made a song about them? So in this instance, does he know that you made this song with him in mind?
You see, if you listen to the lyrics, it's quite plain. However, I haven't had the conversation where I've been like, hey, this is about you. We don't really talk anymore, so it would be quite a strange conversation.
Right, okay. I haven't spoken in ages, but guess what?
This song is about you. But no, he's definitely heard it.
Okay.
He's definitely heard it. And he likes the song.
How do you know?
Because like I've seen him post about it. So
my God.
Yeah, so it's like you do. It's not like a bad vibe. Like we don't talk to each other unlike, oh, we don't like each other. It's just more like distant thing. But yeah, he likes the song. I don't know if he's put 2 and 2 together yet. When that day comes, it might be an interesting one. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Any visuals for it? And if there are, would you be on the phone? Hello, Mr. X. You know we haven't spoken in ages, but would you like to be in a video?
Yeah, see, scary. So the visuals are out tomorrow, actually. I don't know when coming out. But...
Tuesday. So they came out. So for those listening on the radio, the visuals came out last Friday.
Yeah, on the
Friday just gone. Yeah.
So check it out. But no, the person in the video slightly resembles.
Really? That's bad.
Slightly resembles, but not like in a very intense way. Like you're never gonna put 2 and 2 together looking at the person. But in my personal opinion,
but he will.
Maybe, just might. I don't know.
Okay.
Possibly, you know. So yeah, like the video is coming out, and I feel like for me, although I'm a performer, I couldn't really give my 110% like best acting if I didn't have something to draw from inspiration wise. So I needed to have someone that looked kind of similar anyway.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video.
I'm looking forward to it. How do you find making videos? So I'm really socially, well, actually, I was going to say socially awkward I am, but I'm also even more awkward like in video shoots. So I get invited to video shoots and I don't want to do anything. I'll do the cameo bit where I'm just like on my phone. I could do that all day, like hold my phone and just look away from the camera. But ask me to do anything and it's just like, it just ruined the whole shoot.
No, I hear that. For me, okay, like I feel like I'm getting better during time. But I'm very much socially awkward myself.
Yeah.
So if I'm having a video shoot, then most likely the people that are involved, I already know. So I don't have that awkward barrier to get over.
Yeah.
God help me the day that the video people are not anybody that I know, because I'm really just gonna have to push through. But with this one, the people that were on set and the guy who's even like play my love interest. They're really, really good friends of mine. So it was just a funny day, having banter. And when like the camera was rolling, I really found it hard to keep a straight face.
Yeah.
It's an emotional song.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully you can't tell.
I'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, most definitely.
What would you say has been the best part of your journey so far? Like, as an artist, you've released like music, enjoying it. What's the good parts and the bad parts?
So the bad parts, there's a lot of hateful people in this world. And it's really strange. I make jokes. When you're like big and famous, like you always get trolls that really want to bring you down. So I always make jokes when people like send really hateful messages like, I must be famous, you know, because I'm getting trolls in my DMs and under comments. So it's quite...
What are they saying though?
I'm a plus size girl. Do you know what I mean?
You get weight. Oh, you get weight. Okay. Right.
So it's like, oh, we feel like you would go further in your career if you like lost weight. People are like, oh, you're so ugly and da 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 da. And I'm just like, thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, exactly.
To attempt to ruin my day. However, me personally, throughout school, I was bullied. So I now have like this force field that like karate kicks every negative energy out my way. Dodging everything. So yeah, that's kind of like the not nice part. Also, like, I don't know, like internal pressure that I put on myself to try and be the best person and artist that I can be. But like the best parts is like really me coming into my truth. And growing as a woman as much as I am an artist. I think through music I found a lot of my truth and a lot of my purpose. And I've been able to heal from a lot of things I've gone through in life through music. So that's a beautiful thing. And every milestone that I kind of get in life is just amazing. Like, I've been doing music for a long time, but I didn't get like my first national radio play until this year. So it's like, that is like big for me, like getting one extra. That was quite emotional for me.
What song was it?
It was
Until. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Until was the first song that ever got played on national radio, and obviously that was just a feature, but it was a big thing for me.
Well, it's you.
I've never heard my voice on Radio 1, Radio 1 Extra, anything like that. And then obviously the most recent song also got played, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like people really like the music. And I think for me that's the most important thing. I will happily be broke doing music all day, every day. It's just something that I love to do. So just even getting to see people sing my songs back to me at shows, or people playing it on radio, from local community radio to like the bigger national radios, like it's just all really, really overwhelming, because I came from wanting to be a history teacher and thinking that no one would care about my music. So that is the best part, I think.
What's next for you? What's going to happen? We're coming out of lockdown. You know, you can travel again, hopefully. Might not have to wear a mask. What's gonna be next for you? What do you want to happen before the end of 2021? What's your plans?
A lot of gigs. I just want to perform. I feel like
I thought you said a lot of kids. I thought, wow, you haven't got much time.
No.
What kind of plan you got in mind?
I'm really not trying to manifest any kids anytime soon. So let's just retract that statement, please.
Wow.
Someone's always listening, and all of a sudden, I've got. So let's not.
Well, you know, Mr. X will be on the phone. Hi, yes, I saw your video, and I heard you wanted kids.
Heard you want kids? Yeah. I'm available.
I'm free on Friday. Where are you going to be?
No, gigs as in like playing live shows.
Okay.
That would be amazing. Like, I've got a couple gigs lined up for like June time. I would love to I love to perform. Like the studio is the bane of my existence. Like, I hate being in the studio because I feel like you have to obtain like a level of perfection that me and my brain don't enjoy. Whereas like you can leave it all on the stage and be in the moment when you do live performances. And I feel like because we've been confined to like our four walls of our bedrooms and our living rooms and our kitchens, I feel like I just want to interact with human beings again because it's been a while. And just consistently releasing music, because even though I've been doing music a while, people will only really know about music that I've released in the last couple of months or so, last year or so. So
like me.
Yeah, exactly. So I consistently run of music, and I want to reach new places. Like you said, you didn't know who I was until Phases, which was November last year. But I've been putting out music for years and years and years. So for me, it's just touching more people and reaching more people with my music. So that is the goal: gigs and reaching new audiences.
Perfect. Madi Saskia, it's been brilliant speaking with you. So thank you very much for taking the time to speak with me.
Thank you for having me. Like, I really appreciate it.
No problem at all.